Neither player has dropped a frame en route to the final. Fergal O'Brien has made 2 centuries and 4 half centuries in the 6 frames he's needed to win. Mark Williams has made a break of 140 and also had a credible 147 attempt,
Mark Williams, break,
which stalled on 80. Mark Williams has been in the semi-finals of the Welsh Open and the final of the Gdynia Open, in the last 2 events in which he's played. Is this going to be the evening he goes the extra step? No obvious route back to Borg.
That's a good way of playing it. I know he went into the blue, but he doesn't mind now that the pot's gone in. I think he played it with a lot of right-hand side to swing the cue ball out of harm's way if the pot didn't go into the pocket, and he's in first, albeit yet on a colour nicely, but he is in good form. You've mentioned that both of these players are. May have been a bit tired last night, and I think in some ways the fact that he came back from Poland earlier in that day, the shorter the match, I think the better for him. If he'd have been involved in a best of 9 or a longish match, he might have been a bit weary.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Williams, 3.
Didn't quite amount to anything there. Pushed this a little bit, played it with left hand side, pushed it onto the ball with the rest, made it thick.
Certainly not easy, but one which he felt he had to go for, and the way he's been playing, why not?
1.
However, he left Williams an easy starter. Win or lose, Williams goes over £4.5 million in career prize money. Whether he takes the first prize of £18,000 or the second prize of £8,000.
It's
taken him 23 years to accumulate that amount.
Yes, because he's won bigger prizes than 18,000 first prize. A lot bigger, but he'd only have to win 8 frames in a day and a bit to win that much. That's the second rest shot he's hit wrongly. over-screwed
11.
that time. Now, what's he doing here? He can't get up to the bulk end. There's red down there, so it's not the kind of safety shot that he
Mark
liked to
Williams,
play, pushing
11.
the pink safe. Both high-value colours now not necessarily in play.
If O'Brien plays towards baulk, he won't play to the baulk cushion. Or maybe a cutback. No.
Well, I think here, Mark, if he wanted to, could play the conventional safety shot, pushing the red up and down, which is on the yellow spot. But again, even that he's not fancying.
One.
It's hard to get onto a colour. So I think in behind one is the plan now. Don't know how difficult a snooker can make this. Well,
Mark Williams, 1.
it's basic of one cushion, although with the red sticking out, that's the problem for Fergal. That is the problem, red. He can't really roll into the bunch because that red is in the way, so he's probably got to play to hit that red, I think. Yeah, that was the only shot he had. Well played.
Well, by bringing that red back down the table, it makes an orthodox return to baulk safety possible.
Yes, Clive, and he's played a really good one, has Mark. Okay, there is a thin route back to baulk, but it's not easy when you put your hand on the rail, as Fergal has here. So that last shot might just give Mark a chance. Oh, pacey this is. Blue helped somewhat. Would have gone quite a bit further down the table had it not made that kiss. But I think Mark can get to the pot here. Fairly long range, does pot cleanly. And he's always been someone that's knocked in those sort of shots. You know, he's a great break builder. Great all-round player, but his long game has always been a real strong point.
Five.
Neither pink nor black well placed for break building.
6.
Yes, Clive, I mean, it's very difficult to win the frame here. Even the blue's not really in play yet. Okay, he can accumulate a half-decent lead and take reds off the table as well. It is hard to see him winning the frame here.
8. 9. Shot clock is now in operation.
Well, the blue being potable, that's progress. Very nice.
40.
But still with a lot of work on.
$15.
Well, he's edged into a 30-point lead.
That was a kick.
Mark
We
Williams.
haven't been saying
15.
that very much in the last day and a half, we're pleased to say. We get bored with talking about kicks as much as players don't like having them. But that definitely sounded bad.
Oh.
Wasn't even doing anything with the cue ball.
Greg Caniglio has cleaned the cue ball.
Time extension.
Yeah, of course, the cleaning of the cue ball came in Fergal's own time. I think he just forgot himself briefly.
One.
Hit the wrong red first here.
Fergal O'Brien. 1.
Yeah, even though there's plenty of reds left and not that much in it, Fergal really needs the high-value colours in play, more so than Mark does.
He may even have tried to develop the black with the last shot by playing the object ball towards it. Anyway, nothing happened.
Fergal will wear that shot clock out. He might need that for the shootout for 3 days. Want battery to run out on it, because he does play his shots a little slowly on occasions. Still got one of his extensions left this frame, but he might need it later on.
One of O'Brien's great strengths is his safety game, but he's been scoring so heavily, he hasn't really needed it until this frame.
Right, that's an example of how he's been hitting the ball. Okay, not easy on the next colour, but he struck this ever so well. This is probably as difficult, though, this next colour and maybe position. Yeah, it's not a nice shot.
Fergal
Missed
O'Brien.
many in the last
1.
3 and a bit matches, but he's missed one there.
This is the first slow frame in which he's been involved in all his other 6 frames in this tournament. He's basically settled it with a decent break.
Yeah, he looks up against it in this frame, doesn't he? Just the nature of the scrappy frame and the 28-point deficit that he's faced with is, under the circumstances, a big lead that Mark has over him. Dear. Not an easy red in the middle because it's a slightly acute angle, but he's found a new way of sticking one there. There's Mark.
I'm sure Williams believed it was a shot to nothing on the black if it went in. Nothing left if it didn't. But it caught the middle pocket jaw, bounced across to where it is now.
One.
The last few shots, Fergal's just been on the hurry up. Bleeps have got involved, and he needs to just keep that fluency going. I know the shots occasionally need some thinking about. As Willie Thorne mentioned earlier on, you know, he's played quickly and fluently for him, and he's got to try and force himself to keep playing that way.
Five.
Difficult though when the balls are not in an obvious break building position.
He's got a shot here to either try and screw into the 2 reds and push them out, or he could play in behind one of them, especially with the blue being where it is. It'd be easy to get his colour after it. Well, he's played the cannon, he's played it very well. I think that red will pass the black. I suspect it will.
7.
It was well judged. He go mad on the shot. Had a big target. Didn't overhit. Hasn't got a full pocket here, but it'll definitely go.
Eight.
Just get the feeling this could be a dramatic conclusion to this frame. Fergal can take it down to the last few balls, but you know, the clearance is going to be mighty difficult from here.
Well, key shot coming up.
11.
Didn't he play it well?
12.
Shot in many ways because you'd need the pink at the end of the frame to guarantee it. And now it'll be potable into the pocket that it's easiest into. Now the black's gone in out of its way. Well, this would be some dish up if you could make it.
19.
Clearance up to including pink required.
Thank you.
Well, he would have fancied that rest shot, having potted the red
21.
and the cushion 2 shots before with it.
$24.
Now, which pocket would he like to get onto the blue into is the question. I suspect if he could pick one, it would be, well, judging where the pink is, it could get onto the right middle. Blue into the right middle and just stun him behind the pink. That's the perfect place. And
28.
he's right in between. He may have a shot. He chose right corner, and if he runs this through, he could conceivably land in behind the pink. And a bit further than what he wanted to. Well, he didn't play that, but he's got a shot to win the frame.
Not a nice one, though.
No, it's one that he doesn't necessarily have to go for, but I think he is eyeing it up. Very close together, those two balls. It always adds to the difficulty of the shot.
This for the frame. Well,
9 on the frame.
29 clearance to the pink by O'Brien in what had been largely a tactical frame.
Well, it was as good as a 100 break in many aspects of it. Great clearance, as you say, up to the final pink, which in itself was never touched the sides down the cushion. And I saw a little look over at Mark in his seat, and not much shocks him or makes him a bit nervous, but he looked a bit unsettled after that. He looked over at Fergal, couldn't believe he'd cleared up. It's not stopped him knocking that one in. Great shot.
1.
Now he's gone too far. There it is again. What a beautiful shot this is. But in going too far, he's got a chance to split the bunch. Take many out, but still at the table.
8.
Yes, that was a calculated cannon.
Needs to be anything but straight
9.
on this, and he knew he'd overhit. And it's frustrating. Got to try and magic up an angle here, which he's done. That's unlucky again.
14.
The bunch was very tightly packed,
Touching
though.
ball.
And having to come into it off a cushion didn't make it any more likely that he was going to bring reds into play.
Mark Williams, 14.
Well, choice of shot Mark played there was to play in behind the green. He could have played to the cushion, but in not getting behind the green, Fergal's got a hand on the table. He's been knocking these in. Don't know how much he fancies this one with absolutely guaranteed position. I don't know if he even fancies it. Can see why in the end he didn't play it.
Well, he's playing very well, but he doesn't want to overplay his hand.
He's an experienced player. Mark thought he'd got that. He was on the walk.
O'Brien has been playing pretty solidly elsewhere on the circuit. 26th in the world rankings he stands, but certainly he hasn't produced form like this anywhere else. I think he's sensing that this is his week.
Just wonder if he's interested in the red up by the yellow there. Might be a slightly bigger pocket if he'd prefer not to go off the blue, but that's a further possibility. If he pots it without the use of the blue, it'd probably be on the blue as the colour. Not easy though.
well, overcut it pretty grossly.
One. Three. Four.
Well, he's got to think of a way of opening the bunch.
7.
Otherwise the break ends soon.
Eight.
Well, that was why he played for green and not blue.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might have just screwed directly into the bunch here without using the cushion. That's what he's tried. It's a difficult shot, actually. More difficult directly than with a wider angle off the cushion. He's still got this, though. Laptop in the
12.
air. It absolutely finished perfectly. Didn't think it was in. It was always in.
He was very anxious not to cannon the black.
$19.
Williams appears completely unruffled.
Well, he's always been effortless in what he does,
20.
hasn't he? He's one of those players. The game is not that difficult to him. He doesn't ever complicate things out there.
$27. 28. $35.
He's on the middle red. It's also a good cue ball.
36.
And he's up and down on these shots as if he's missing them. Keeping Fergal interested sitting there, because when you're watching,
43.
all you can go by is your opponent's body language. You can't see the shots he's playing.
44.
He'll be driving him mad, but I think the frame's just about to elude Fergal O'Brien, and he's going to lose his first frame of the tournament. But I think it's a final that was fitting that it should go to a decider, the way these two have
51.
played. They've been outstanding.
$52. $59. $60.
Lovely stuff. Well past the winning post, so O'Brien will be composing himself
66.
for the deciding frame.
67.
Yes, and this break is not even 5 minutes old, and the frame's long since won.
73.
He's very nippy around the table, always has been.
Foul. Mark Williams, 73. Fergal O'Brien, 4. Frame, Mark Williams.
So with that 73 break, Mark Williams levels the match at 1-1 and carries it into a decider.
Thank you, the deciding frame. Mark Williams to break.
Just a containing shot there from Fergal, but there's always the chance playing that shot that you can be put into more trouble. That could be it. That could be troublesome, actually.
So often the shot leaving the cue ball directly behind green or yellow on the ball cushion pays dividends, or at least gives the incoming player a lot to think about.
That was well played. Well, this opens things up as well, the red being taken away from the black. This could be interesting. Obviously, no safety shot to the other end of the table is possible because the red up there. I suppose he could conceivably finish where he's put his cue now, but he's got to get the pace of it right. If he gets it wrong, he'll leave the red. It's only a very small area up there that he can land that cue ball safely. So I think he'll be looking at something else. He's got to be able to get his cue underneath this ball to get the screw back to finishing where he is now with the white. Not easy. Pacey. He's not judged it very well, and that red is on up the table. Also one to the middle, even easier. That was a bad shot from Fergal. He was in trouble though.
1.
Well, one thing we can say for sure, the decision to reduce the age
6.
limit in this tournament from 45 to 40 has definitely
7.
raised the standard of play. The play in this final has been worthy of a world ranking final.
12.
Yes, and just to clarify that, Clive, as you know, I know you're fully aware of it, but anyone else watching, it is for 40 during the...
50.
It'll be 40 during the actual season. Mark isn't actually even a 40-year-old yet, is he? But he will be.
Very soon.
Very soon, yep. That's why he's playing. Without going into it too deeply,
60.
it opens up all possibilities of John Higgins and Ronnie O'Sullivan playing in this next season. Hard to even conceive that those two could even be considered seniors.
21.
Not worked out very well, that. And he hit it hard enough. That will be very disappointing because the match was possibly there for him.
Had that worked out differently, this could have been the last visit of the match, but it won't be now.
Had a touching ball there, so
21.
was able to play directly into the yellow.
And again, Williams leaves the cue ball directly behind the green. Blocking off everything down the right. From the bunch area, anyway.
I don't think that was exactly how he played it. I'm sure he almost caught the jaws of the corner pocket there. Oh, the double kiss is on. He hit it too thick, and as soon as he did that, it's almost hard to imagine not getting the double kiss. However, the only light at the end of the tunnel for Mark is that Fergal's going to pot this red. He's going to have to get all kinds of equipment out from under the table to reach it.
From the Williams point of view, that could have been so much worse.
I actually am wondering whether he's even going to try the red. That's the pot, but goodness me, he's to find all stuff to reach it from the other end. He's actually going to play safe here. In behind the yellow's his target. Mark got away with one there.
Another very good safety from Williams. A tester.
Yes, Clive, it's not an easy one, is it? He may have got to swing this cue ball around past the pink through a gap. It's almost like a example of a billiard shot. I'm not sure if he's playing it. Half ball red that's up the table as we look on the right. But there aren't too many other options.
He does not like this.
Well, if he plays that top red, all he's got to do is make sure he gets past the pink with this. May even be going for the pot, but the cue ball back is most important. Yeah. Good cue ball. Unfortunately, it's the red. He was right not to like it, Clive, clearly.
One.
There was a chance that the
Shot
failed
now.
red
Shot clock,
could have been
sorry.
stopped by
Nine.
another red, but
Use.
as it hasn't been, this is a match and title clinching chance for Williams.
4. Five.
And the other thing is that Fergal's not potted a ball and since that first frame when he knocked in that really good clearance up to
11.
the pink. Nor has he really had one to go at.
12.
Well, the ideal combination from Williams. He scored heavily, 73 break in the second frame. He's not given O'Brien any chances.
He had the one bit of luck earlier when he got the double kiss and didn't leave one, but apart from that, he's made no errors.
18. 19. 25.
Well,
26.
almost disaster, almost screwed into the middle pocket. And as he finished dead straight on the blue, he's taking the yellow.
Mark Williams, 26.
Got away with it. But who would have thought he would have missed the yellow? Probably still thinking about nearly going in off and finishing straight on the blue to boot. O'Brien disappointed not to have a pot on, but equally delighted that he's still in the match. Albeit 47 behind in this deciding frame.
Time extension.
And he's winding himself up for this. He may be going. I think he looked at the pot, but I think he's changed his mind. He's got to play the left-hand side, swinging the cue ball round safety shot instead. And he's caught it too thin, horribly thin. It was never easy on these cloths, especially so.
Well, over that side of the table, there was no colour to hide behind. So he had to get the cue ball right on the ball cushion.
He's not quite come back as far as he would like. Just a bit more work to do.
Eight. Nine.
Well, he'd love to win this. He'll be playing John Higgins, I noticed, in the shootout. It's not an easy one, but for now that's not on his mind. It's just this possibility of becoming World Seniors champion to go along with his 2 world titles.
16.
And he's just about there.
17.
He's played well, they both have. He's actually come back very well, Clive, from the first frame, the way that it was lost. Play as well as he has in the next 2.
24. 25.
Yes, it was a really superb 39 clearance to pink, with which O'Brien won the opening frame. But O'Brien didn't pot a ball in the second frame.
32.
And he hasn't potted one in this.
33.
So Williams knows he's won.
39.
O'Brien realises that he's lost.
40.
It's been a top quality final.
45. 47.
But Mark Williams has won it.
47. Frame
He has
and the
beaten
match.
Fergal O'Brien by 2 frames to 1. Mark Williams is the Betway World Seniors champion.